think we're good. If they get crowbar, I'm actually a little bit worried, but yeah. Of course they do. Of course they do. That's the one thing that's actually really bad. They could one-shot me, so. Jesus Christ. Yep. Yep. Let's do Rogue Gunner maybe. That is the thing, like when they made Eclipse and Void Field and all that stuff, you know, E8 plus crowbars unveiled is so bad because, like, actually what I should have done, and this is me being pretty honest about it, I should have been trying to find a way to stay under like 70% HP, but it's really hard to do that with that build because I'm always like healing too much. I don't know, I think I had to have left pretty much. Just taken my 5 ATGs and called it. Gun hit, or not gun hit. I was like thinking in my head, like, maybe I'll just hear the Bison charge, but I didn't even hear that one. Like, I didn't have time to react because he was too close. I needed to see him with my eyes and prep for it or try to stun him with my M2. What's your favorite build? FMP build, probably. More because I've done, Chrysalis has become one of my favorite equipments. It's very good. I just wish it didn't have the wing prison downside, but there was some other way to make that, I don't know, better. Obviously, you know, if you get stuck in wing prison, it's a skill issue, but I just wish you didn't have to, like, play around it. Most of my having similar effect as fields where enemies kept getting items, and at the end, you fight a huge boss. Have you ever played Simulacrum? Just curious. Or are we just theorizing? Look at the difference, by the way, between a Plains run and this run. It's fucking crazy. Insane. I would have had this much. It's not even right, dude. Still would have lost that last run though, probably, because I would have greeted builds for ATGs, but this timeout in general, the stage balance is so fucking off. They're practicing gauntlet races, and the shit is rough. I think a lot of people look at the gauntlet races, and they're just like, they've kind of learned a lot about the gauntlet races over the past year or so. They've kind of, you know, understood more of how it works, like blah blah blah, but they probably think it's a lot easier than it is. Oh, why did K die there? Why did he die to a vagrant? Why did, you know, this person die to pizza? Are they stupid? You know, until you do it yourself, and then you're like, wow, what they're doing is actually incredibly impressive. I already have a key, so that's really good. I think we're good. Alright, let's just head out. Dude, we missed 4 chests and a... What? I don't want to play this right now. What do you mean I missed all that? What are you talking about? Where? I don't know where. What the fuck? I have a billion items. That can't even be right. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't know. Dude, I hate missing that much shit after a stage 1. Good runners really make it look easy if you're not paying attention. It just looks like they aren't being attacked sometimes. Yeah. You look at how fast Zinc can finish a run and you're just like, wow, okay. You know, I could do that. How could there have been a Void Cradle also? Down the ridge? I was on the ridge. I think near the Craft's ship. I didn't look at everything, I guess. It's such an annoying feeling. If you miss one thing, you're like, oh, okay. Like, you know, whatever. That happens. I miss like 7 items, dude. Allegedly. So I'll never install stage recap. Usually it's fine, but Jesus Christ. But even furthering my points that why would I ever in my entire life choose to play on Plains? I mean, I do it because I like to streak and show that every run is winnable, which it is. But I'm just saying game balance wise, like, if I were a casual player who didn't give a shit and just, you know, why wouldn't I just restart? If you want a better run, that's like half of the problem. Alright, G. Casual player resetting 10 times like inside and force server and it falls a single time because recent planes have doubled the spawn chance. Yeah, that's the worst part. Yeah, I could sit here and restart for a long time. It's like, I prefer not to do that though. The most important part of roguelikes is like dealing with the shit. At that point, why not just play a seated run? That's what I mean. Like, at some point, you're just kind of playing command at some point, right? Which is fine, but you just keep re-rolling everything until it's perfect, and I don't know. Anyone can play the way they want. Okay, they commanded in the game. I mean, the thing is, people enjoy it though. I don't want to take away people's enjoyment from it. Even if you don't like it. If anything, like, more people enjoy command than, you know, the main game, so. The fact that House can alter a thing in slots only spawn stage 1, 2, or 3 times make resetting feel like even more depth in. I don't even know what they're doing, man. I mean, the builds I've seen people make are wild. I mean, in a good or bad way, because I feel like for me, like, I've gotten some fucking wild builds, and I think they only really matter because it was random. It was like, it was cool to get those things. I use the command to unlock stuff. I'm too lazy to get normal, and even in those runs, it's boring. Honestly, at that point, I would just change the notepad save file and just unlock it. I feel like if you're not gonna, like, do the achievement the way it's intended, just, at that point, just cheat, right? What's the line is kind of blurry there, isn't it? That's for more engaging testing. I mean, in a more vanilla capacity. There are better testing mods for it, but I mean, like, they couldn't expect really people to do that, I suppose. Playing console. Oh, okay, never mind. Carry on. Sorry for your loss. Who's command for getting 70% of the achievements? I do think coming out of the other end of the artifacts should disable achievements. I've said that in the past. I don't know how much I actually believe that I agree with that, because, like, you know, you could sway me either way, I suppose. I still wouldn't use it for achievements personally, but I don't know, I feel like it does cheapen some of the experience for sure. I don't want to put my game view over other people's experiences. Like, the thing is, like, some people will just not play the game anymore. Is it worth losing all of the players that, you know, could have loved this game for years because you took that away? I don't know. A lot of people really don't like the achievements in this game, which is fair. I like them, and I like this system more than any other roguelike system. I need $1. We're in. Oh, there's a barrel right here. Nice. Yum. 2 hours just to get 20 stacks of hemorrhage sounds not fun. Well, I think it's easy to view it that way, like, oh, I'm playing 2 hours just to get this one thing, but, like, there are achievements in the game that do take 2 hours, and you're like, man, that was really cool. And I, you know, solved the puzzle of it, and I learned it, and I came out the other side, and I, you know... Oh, that's a Murph. Well, we'll just use the gun here, then. I think the Ethereal achievement is a great example of it's a really good achievement. RNG is what makes Restrain 2 fun. It's what makes it replayable. It's a good example, though, of don't give a player what they think they want. Right? What a player wants, right, they would say is like, hey, I want, like, a command build. But how many command players really play the game past, like, you know, 100 hours? I would say not many. I would say they get tired pretty fast. If you even have fun for 100 hours with command, I couldn't. But people do. Typically, honestly, it seems like younger crowds really like that kind of stuff. Usually you see the 14-year-old who's like, dude, I made a funny build. Dude, the funny power build. And you're like, okay, what funny build am I gonna make today? I'm playing, like, you know, let him have it. Not hurting anybody. And they realize that, like, you know, you can have all of those builds that you make in command, but just more rewarding and also in normal too. My 700 hours, about 500 Eclipse, and the other is 200 in command when I first started playing. I don't even know how you did it, man. I don't know how you did it. Blazing Grand isn't bad at Tesla probability builds. Some people like theory crafting. Well, there's, like, easier ways to theory craft. There's mods for that you don't really need to use command for, I guess. Command is you still want to play with it. I think theory crafting is something else. Maybe they just don't know they have the tools. Again, not hating on people who play command, even though I don't. But long term, like, a game can't really stay sustainable that way. Like, for example, like Minecraft, right? Minecraft was originally only creative mode, and, like, a few people played it, but not for more than, like, a few hours. Once they added survival mode, that's when it blew up. Why? Because you couldn't get everything immediately. Check the seed, and the items you missed were just on Roost and were included in the stage recap even though they weren't on the map anymore. Oh, because I used set scene. Dude, Davis, you're a genius. You're actually a genius. I feel so much better now. Thank you. I think the overlap between command players and the 200 mod pack players says a lot about how quickly it sucks the fun out of the game. Yeah. Agree. But again, that's what players say that they want, and then, you know, when it comes time for them to log in for 1,000 hours, then what? They won't do it. They won't play the game that much. And you know what's crazy? The extra items that I missed, it was only like 5 chests and a void cradle. So it was still a fucking shitty roost. Is there any other, like... Oh, here we go. Nah, no gun. I need another gun. So I want more Murph, but I don't think we're gonna get it. I think a good example of breaking down what, like, players, like, want / are looking for and, like, all this stuff. Give me another one so I can just get a Murph and a little B. Is like looking, oh my god, yes. Is looking at like a puzzle game, right? If you had a puzzle game that had really, really easy puzzles, no one would really play it. Or maybe like someone would, but you know what I mean. No one's really gonna play that game. It's only that when you have to work hard to solve a puzzle that's within your means, that you would love it. Or very rarely players are gonna go into a game and be like, I want to suffer. And maybe that's changed a little bit over the last couple of years in some game genres, like Dark Souls and stuff, but suffering makes the game enjoyable. I'm glad that's becoming more noticeable. I've been stuck on a few levels in Baba Is You for months. There was one level, I did a stream of Baba Is You actually one time, and I was just stuck, man. I had been playing the game for like 12 hours, and then I go to do one of the harder puzzles in the game, like at the end of my session, and I just like could not figure it out, man. And I sat there for like literally 8 hours looking at this one puzzle until I figured it out. I should have given up, and not given up, but like taken a rest for the night, come back later. But at some point I was just sitting and talking to chat, and the fucking puzzles in the background just taunting me. Look at how COD players complain about skill-based matchmaking, dude. That shit is so funny. Do they not want skill-based matchmaking? Is that what it is? So I talked about this earlier on, but the COD devs actually took those complaints seriously, and they put in skill-based or anti-skill-based matchmaking in their game and monitored the results, and it was overwhelmingly like the case that people stopped playing the game, which is just like so funny because they think they wanted, you know, different kind of game, but they don't actually. They really don't. Power trip of pub summit every run and then stop playing after 20 hours. Yes. Correct. In competitive multiplayer games, it feels like I'm bashing my head against a wall. I mean, that's what learning is, right? In a way. Learn to beat someone else. I think the frustration comes in where a lot of competitive multiplayer games, there's so much variance and there's so many things that are truly like, that feel out of your control. I would never say that like you lose because of your teammates all the time. If you have a negative win rate, it is your fault, straight up. I don't want to hear cope about that. But you have all these other factors, and like it's easy just to blame someone else. And a lot of people do, and that's when they get frustrated. Unfortunately, I'll just take wings. They really focus on other people's mistakes instead of your own, because it's really hard to really focus on your own mistakes sometimes, especially when there's so much going on. Dude, if we had the gas, if we just printed 11 gas last stage and then got this, I don't want to think about it. I don't think people really understand what SBMM really is. Sometimes with that SBM you'll stomp lobbies, but more often you likely get stomped unless you're a top 1% player. Correct. Yeah. Like, I loved stomping lobbies when I was fucking playing those early games, but again, you know, I was also younger, and I was a kid who thought that was just fun, but, yeah. Oh. I need speed, dude. I just realized that. So I prefer co-op stuff. Easier to focus on your own gameplay with half players and a whole enemy team removed as factors. Yeah. Over the years, when I was younger, I used to love just PvP games only. Over the years, I've just kind of gone back to more of a PvE kind of co-op experience. You know what's really interesting, and I've said this before, I'll say it again till the end of time. The players who play Fortnite and COD and stuff, and have to be catered to with like whatever and complain about SBMM all the time. You know what they really want? These players just really want to play a PvE game, but don't want to admit it to their friends. And that's honestly like the truth. Because, and it's okay. It's okay to play a PvE game, dude. I mean, they already fill Fortnite lobbies with half bots anyway. The science of how Fortnite is made is actually like insane. How they've convinced people that they're actually good and somehow giving people wins and shit. You know, League of Legends, I wish I could just play the PvE jungle without playing the PvP. Yeah, I mean, and that's fine, you know? There was a game to do that. I wonder if there is like a PvE kind of like League experience. Has there ever been a PvE MOBA that you can just play like co-op? That's, I mean, obviously you could just play against bots in League, but like that's not what I'm talking about. A game that's more catered to PvE crowds or something. ARPGs, pretty close. I find people actually like competitive games more on average because they have the ability to blame other people instead of owning their own mistakes. That could be true. I don't think that's why they like those games, but I think it's why they can keep playing it. Because, you know, a lot of people might play those games and then stop once they realize they have to actually learn or do better or admit their mistakes or failure or something. But because they can ignore it, they might be like, oh, I'm good. I've always been good. It's just my teammates always drag me down. Game. It's much easier to work toward a specific goal in a PvE game. That PvP game is ranked that feels like it's way too much work. I'd rather spend time mastering a game like Celeste or Elden Ring or Risk of Rain. And that's totally fair. That's kind of where I'm at these days. Before, when I was younger, maybe early 20s or late teens or something or whatever, I used to love just getting really good at multiplayer games and stuff, but I just don't care anymore. It doesn't bring me the same satisfaction. Because the thing is, I don't know. It's endless. It's an endless cycle, I think. Like, there's always going to be someone better than you, which is fine, you know, but you're always going to have to work and try to be better. Meanwhile, I could, you know, get really good at a PvE game up to, like, what my goal or standard is, and then move on to some new thing and have fun in a new variety of ways. That being said, I still play this fucking game for some reason. So fighting games or other 1v1 competitive games always be less popular. Yeah, it's always just filled with the people who actually want to improve themselves and know that they are the only ones standing in their own way at achieving their goal. And you have to compete with that. And you have to do that too. And some people don't want to do that. But I don't think it's something that, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the PvP crowds do like to, or the ultra competitive players really do like to shame PvE players. And that's probably why like not a lot of people would be willing to switch. Like, hey bro, what if they just had like not SBMM? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I won't admit to this guy right now. I want to play fucking Risk of Rain instead. People want to win, but refuse to do what it takes to win. They complain about SBMM because it forces you to lose by putting you against better people when you're winning, but you're either the mega casual that gets stomped, and the sad or the tryhard that doesn't want to actually get better. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've heard one valid case about SBMM. Well, okay, I say valid, but let me explain why it's like a fallacy kind of thing. Yeah, like SBM is good, but it also makes me focus so hard that you know, I can only play the game for like an hour or two because like it's so draining. But that's not a problem with SBMM. That's just a problem with the game design, and you're playing a competitive game and you want to play a PvE game. That's, again, it's back to, you don't want to put in the hours to play something competitive, which again is fine, but that's just what the game is. If you're fighting someone else, you have to have the other player have a chance. You can't just keep playing games where the other player isn't good or doesn't have a chance to beat you. It might take twice as long for me to master an Umbrella compared to getting a high rank in something like Overwatch, but I would be much more satisfied when the former is over. Hell yeah, dude. Umbrella is satisfying to get down. And this game as a whole is a satisfying thing to get down. And I'm glad seeing how far I've come with this game as well. I'm not the best, but I'm good enough to have runs that I want and consistently win. Before PC became more accessible, banter generally was better natured. I mean, I don't know. It was always pretty bad on Xbox and PlayStation and all those other ones. But I mean, I guess that's what you probably mean. Like, that was when PC was probably more accessible as well. Bleacher. Remember I got my first PC, how different online was versus Xbox Live. Oh, I see what you mean. Like, when not everyone really had gaming PCs at all, and all the toxic players were just on Xbox. How long did it take you to fully understand Risk of Rain 2? I mean, I still make mistakes. I made a mistake today. I guess it was a skill mistake, though. But I'm not perfect. There's always still things to learn. That's the thing. You can never, like, truly fully understand something. I don't know if I have money here, actually. Fuck. I was talking. Dude, I don't even have enough for the legendary chest at all. Or... we have 2, green multi-shots we did not get. I don't think there's a combat shrine. I fucked up, guys. I wasn't paying attention. I mean, this is like one of my favorite reds in Risk of Rain Returns. Sucks that it ain't good in Risk of Rain 2. Dude, it was one of my favorite reds ever in Risk of Rain 1. And then they just fucking made it this. And I was like, dude, what? Why'd you ruin it so hard? So sad. FMP, could I have that run, dude? Just could have printed gas, gotten the soulbound, gotten the FMP, we have the fuel cell. It was here, this run, the path was accessible. I can never tell where I'd lie on the spectrum, because usually I don't care how hard it is to get something, as long as I enjoy the process. If I decide the journey isn't worth fun, I stop caring about the destination entirely. I mean, it's very true as well, like, and that's why, like, it's so important for people to have passion in what they're doing. And you can tell that the people who are really passionate about something, even if it's a game or whatever the fuck, will always be the best. Because they have the, you know, the drive to keep going and they love every moment of it. Someone who doesn't like it will just stop, even if they're good at it, you know? It's not as fun to just be good with it. You need to enjoy it. You need to enjoy the fucking journey. We have a scrapper, we did it. So many of these rerolled. I need a card. Ooh. I mean, we just keep that. We don't even... fuck wings. Let's reroll the wings first, so we could get a card. We didn't. Sorry, FMP. Let's switch these real quick. Alright. Wish we could vultures and defensive glass work with FMP, but I don't want FMP to be broken. FMP is already broken. I know what you mean. It would be kind of too strong. I wish that Wicked Vultures and defensive glass weren't the way they are, actually. That's what I wish. Vultures wouldn't really work with FMP if the last hit or the last kill on FMP was an elite. I've heard people say that before as well, like it would be interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but there are more options than just, you know, this is a game, you can make it do anything. You could trigger elite kills based on your crit chance, maybe. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting. Maybe based on like how many guillotines you have or something, or something like really niche that you wouldn't really stack. That's like specific build, I don't know. Home Thatcher shouldn't be a stage 5. What the hell should it be? It's huge. I have a gun. I need to get there, dude. A little bit of damage. Just a little bit of damage. So making a stage 5, they should just remove it. I think it's a very pretty map. I think it's like visually very impressive, but it's very dark. And I don't necessarily like the verticality of it as much. So the question is, if we're getting Blast Shower, do we really want to get Lysate? Lysate has the fucking damage though. I say better. Is it though? We're fighting Umbral. We just have so much damage, I could probably just one-shot each phase though. One skill rotation for each phase. Hold on, let me just pick up the fucking Blast Shower. Where is it? Here. There's no print on the stage. Alright, everything. Bye. If I get rid of 2 more greens, I could get another thing. If I get rid of 1 more white item, I don't want to do that. All right, let's go for Lysate. Yoink. ATGs, crits. I mean, I guess I could Just do crit for extra damage. It's not bad, it's just... Oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get one more. Lost a hoof. Still winnable. I mean... Where's my Q-Box? Alright, thank you for that. Appreciated. Alright. Excuse me. Oh my god. Bye-bye. I like the piece is moving so fast right now, dude. Hard run. Super hard. Tough, man. You miss out on anything if you don't pick up the trophy. You just don't get the trophy. You don't get to see the extra cool logbook. The custom logbook.